Christmas.
Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We don't take Christmas off here at Viall Files. No.
Yeah, we're filming this live.
We're filming this live. I have nothing to do. I've been exiled by my family. No, I'm just kidding. I'm home for the holidays, but we wanted to spend Christmas with you. Now that the days are winding down, you've eaten your food, you've gotten your presents, you've got a little too much family time in.
Oh, yeah.
You go in to the holidays being like, oh, I can't wait to catch up. And now it's like, all right, guys, I need a break. So now you've tuned into us. We happy you picked us. Thanks for spending Christmas with us. I've
hidden in the bathroom before at my parents' place, just like, I need a second.
I haven't done that specifically, but I've done like a I've kind of done that.
A metaphorical hiding in the bathroom?
Thank you. Yes. Well, I mean, we talked about this last week. Siesta Key is the gift of Christmas.
MTV, Siesta Key, Robbie Hayes.
Robbie Hayes is on season 3. I can't wait to see it all go down.
What's up with his hairstyle? Will you tell me?
I don't know. Is it real?
It's like a comb over. You think it might be fake?
I don't know.
I don't understand it.
It's a whole thing. Anyways, I'm here for it. I want to see it. You guys know, I went back. I caught up on Siesta Key in preparation of watching Robbie Hayes on season 3, and I will shamelessly admit, I don't think it's gonna go well for him, and I'm here for it.
I don't know. He's just, he's just a weird guy.
It's fine. But you know what? I think he's gonna give Alex a run for his money.
Yep.
Here's what I like about Siesta Key: it is a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
For all you Ask Nick listeners out there, watch Siesta Key. Do the opposite.
Yeah. True.
Do the opposite of what these boys do. Poor hot Garrett just can't catch a break, man. And I don't even get me started on this Pauly guy, who I was really rooting for. I thought he was the normal one. I mean, he has the ponytail, but then he goes and gets arrested and charged with a felony crime.
As every good summer TV show, someone should get arrested. That's on my playbook.
They don't disappoint. So dive in the new season of Siesta Key on Tuesday, January 7th to watch Robbie Hayes and make some more questionable life choices.
Yeah.
At 8 p.m. Eastern on MTV. Go to MTV.com to check out and catch up on season 1 and season 2.
Wantable.
I'm loving it. I just got a bunch of awesome athletic gear delivered to my door yesterday.
Yeah, what did you think?
First of all, I think it's great. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's stylish and comfortable.
Yeah.
But the thing that was most cool about it is how I got it. I mean, you just go online, you tell them what you like, and tell them what you're interested in, and then they pick out stuff for you, and then you keep the stuff you like. I liked it all, so I'm keeping it.
You're keeping it all?
Yeah. And then if you don't like it, you just send it back, and then you're just not charged for it.
Yeah, and they charge you a $20 styling fee, but then once you keep some of the clothes, that is counted as credit towards those clothes. So
so you're not
losing money.
It's like, as long as you keep one thing, it's great.
I don't have time to go shopping, and I don't particularly enjoy it. So for me, this is like, I love it. It's so easy. And I thought everything they sent me was super cute.
I'm keeping everything. I got mostly like sweatshirts, hoodies, and workout pants. Which I wear. Also I put it on. It's like really comfortable and like stuff you can work out in.
Awesome.
Which is what, ideally, but also like it's great loungewear.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I love it. It's super easy. So if you want to get on the Wantable train, Wantable has taken the challenge out of finding the right clothes for me to wear every day. They can help you too. So go to wantable.com/VIALL for $20 off your first edit. Woo! That's WANTABLE.com/VIALL for $25 off your first edit. Wantable.com/VIALL. You won't regret looking good. It's Christmas, and we figured we'd still do an episode. So I thought, what a better way to do a Christmas episode than have some of my closest friends, Ashley and Jared.
Nick, thank you for having us.
My dear friend, Kyle. Kyle is probably my best friend in LA. And
thank you, Nick.
Arguably the reason I'm the Bachelor. Or was, not am.
Whoa. Still a Bachelor, not the Bachelor.
And I just wanted to have a fun, chill hangout and talk about Christmas with my friends.
You have to explain why Kyle is maybe the reason. that you were the bachelor?
Kyle's the person when I first moved to LA, I lived with. He had an extra bedroom in his house, and I had my place in Chicago, and it was right after Caitlin's season. And Kyle and I had maybe met a month earlier when he fangirled me at Coachella and
Got
asked
that selfie.
Asked for a selfie, of which I was like, oh, this guy's kind of weird, but hey, whatever. We were drinking. We were at a music festival. He came up to me, and he was very friendly and outgoing. And then we kept bumping into each other at Coachella by the end of the weekend.
Lollapalooza.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lollapalooza. Sorry, I'm getting my festivals mixed up. Lollapalooza in Chicago.
Oh.
We were in Chicago, and by the third day, we were like best friends hanging out at Lollapalooza, and we just kept bumping into each other. And Kyle kept coming up and just like kept saying things like, "We're doing it, man. We're really here," And I was like,
"Tonight's the night.
Tonight's the night. We're gonna really like. I'm like, I don't know
this thing.
I don't know what we're doing, but okay." By the third day of Lollapalooza, we were fast friends, and then I had signed with an agency, and they were encouraging me to come out to LA, and I was like, I don't really know if I'm really gonna do. I'm just gonna go back to work. I had my place in Chicago, and Kyle's like, well, just come, man. Like I got an extra bedroom at my place, and like you can just live here. And I'm like, yeah, sure. You don't seem like you'll kill me. Like we didn't really know each other that well, and then I moved in, and we quickly became very, very close friends. And
I got so many more selfies.
We did, yeah. We took an improv together class at UCB.
That's right, 101.
We took 101. Kyle was maybe the best in the class.
Nick was easily the second best.
And but Kyle was always, especially that first 4 or 5 months, there were a lot of like, I don't know, man, I think I'm gonna go back to Chicago. Like I don't know if I'm gonna do this. And Kyle was always like, just stay here, man. Just stick it out, and was always very supportive. And if it weren't for kind of me being here, I probably would have never gone on Paradise and then been the Bachelor. So I say that because truthfully, I probably had I ever decided to just go back to Chicago and go back to work, I would have been kind of like done with that whole thing. And so Kyle's a big reason why. And then Kyle got to meet Ashley and Jared through, I remember that's when Jared and I started being friends, and we all went out.
We went to, what's the name of the bar?
No Vacancy.
No Vacancy.
Yeah, you were there.
I was the only girl in a whole crew of guys.
That's right.
But you came later that night. We were hanging out beforehand because I remember
the 3 men.
Ashley, were you guys
dinner, all of us with JJ?
JJ was there.
Then maybe I'm thinking of another night because I remember going to No Vacancy, and this was right after I came off, Paradise, and was still very naive, I think. And I remember talking to you, and Kyle was there too, and Nick was like, I'm going to tell you some stuff right now that you have no idea what was happening during your time on The Bachelorette. And then you just told me things.
I just told you basically the whole like Caitlyn story and how I came on and everything that went down.
And I remember thinking everything I've ever believed is just thrown into the air of Los Angeles.
Yeah, Kyle.
I got to see your face just like be drained of any joy that you had.
Oh, that's crazy.
After I was telling you, I just was like,
we were just talking.
We were just catching up. I hadn't really hung out with you since Caitlyn's or since Caitlin's season, and you went on Paradise, and it was just, we were just kind of downloading our experiences, and so I'm just telling you, not trying to like, just giving you the information I had.
Oh yeah, we were just shooting the shit.
Kyle and I go to the bar. Kyle's like, Nick, I don't think Jared really realized everything that was going on, man. His face was just like, I think you just really sucked the life out of him.
I aged a lot in those 15 minutes we talked.
It was.
I aged a couple of years.
That first little tear that built up in the corner of your eye, I was like, something's wrong. Nick, I don't know if Jared's ready for this.
I don't think he's ready to grow up yet. He still believes in Santa. Yeah. Okay, give him a few more years. But yeah, I remember that was the first night I met Kyle, and then we went to, I think it was Morongo. We had an event there.
That's right.
And that's when I really got to hang out with you and get to know your personality and your sarcasm. Because Kyle will say things that you can't tell if they're true or not. But you say it with such a dry sense of humor.
That's right.
Like before we even started the podcast here.
Like I talk about that a lot when I'm on my grandma's podcast.
Exactly. He literally before the podcast goes, he's like, well, yeah, I've never been on a grandma. I mean, I've never been on a podcast before, but my grandma always asked me to come on her podcast. I've just said no. And then he put his headphones on and was like ready to go. And I just was sitting here thinking, wait, does this grandma actually fucking have a podcast, or is he messing with me?
But when I first met Kyle, I was a little like unsure about him, because as you know, in LA, there's a lot of big talkers in LA. A lot of people have their stories. A lot of people like to name drop. There's a lot of exaggerators, right? And so Kyle has a litany of amazing stories of people he's lived with, friends, just random ass adventures, and it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, this is a very detailed story. And then, like, you know, like later on, you'd run into you meet the friend he was talking about, or like there's verification. I'm like, wow, no, like he's totally not full of shit. He's just it was always like after a while, it's like, no, yeah, these are real stories of just kind of bizarre interactions. Of
Kyle's life.
What a character.
Kyle's life.
I'm trying.
You are a new father.
That's right. My son, Isaac Kelly McCullough, is 7 weeks old.
Great name.
I actually, Kyle was the reason I was the Bachelor.
Yes.
I repaid the favor. I am the reason he has a child.
So
That-
did you
that is right.
introduce his wife Martha?
I indirectly introduced Kyle to his now wife.
Yeah. So when Nick was his season of The Bachelor was airing, lots of people knew, of course, that I knew Nick.
Did you have a little scene? Did you ever come on as Nick's roommate?
No.
On like no.
No.
He was on
wanted that.
Kyle was on the Tonight Show very briefly. I remember that vividly.
Really?
Because
in photo.
yes, because Kyle is very good friends with Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
Elijah Wood was on Jimmy
Yeah,
Fallon's
that
Tonight
photo,
Show. There's
yeah.
the picture right there. When Nick was the Bachelor.
Oh, yeah.
And Jimmy was asking Elijah Wood about Nick and was like, you know, the Bachelor, and then showed a picture of the two of them. And then there's Kyle giving the peace sign. They're all giving the peace sign.
That's so funny.
I mean, we saw Star Wars, and it wound up being one of my proudest moments.
It's amazing. And you made it on Tonight Show. That's friggin' awesome. Anyway, continue.
Okay, so Nick's season was airing. Lots of people I knew were having viewing parties. And one of these viewing parties, some friends asked if I would mind bringing Nick to the party. And I was like, all right, let's do it. And talk to Nick about it. And he was excited.
A celebrity viewing party, right?
Yeah, it was a celebrity viewing party, and Kyle's like, hey, do you want to go? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I show up. Kyle drops. Well, the best part of this story is Kyle was very much enjoying me being the Bachelor at this moment. His dating life was active.
Oh. Getting that runoff.
He shows up, and everyone's very nice to me. It was like, oh, well, Nick's here, and the host didn't really tell anyone. And
Can you say who it was or not?
it was Brie Larson. I mean, Brie actually talked about it on Kimmel. But Kyle left like 15 minutes in to go on a date.
I just dropped Nick off.
He just dropped Nick off.
That's amazing.
And then Martha, his now wife, was there, but because Kyle showed up, he then went to he was then invited to a party because he showed up.
They had the following show
that's right.
was the finale, and Nick was going to be very busy because it was like the
live
thing.
taping, yeah.
And so I decided to go to the finale viewing party with the same crew, and that's when. So I had noticed Martha at the previous party, but for some reason I was positive she had a boyfriend, so I just tried to block her out of my mind. But then at this finale viewing party, she showed up with a freshly baked cake. She was making the most hilarious live commentary to the episode. And I knew in that moment that if she didn't have a boyfriend, I was going to make her my wife.
They've been inseparable ever since.
It's true. That night,
They went camping the next day.
our friends Chris and Melinda that night both separately pulled me aside. They hadn't coordinated, but each of them one was like, she's so great. She's like perfect. She's everything. And then Melinda was like, Kyle, there are no red flags with her. And that was all I needed to hear.
Such good friends. Such good hype men.
Yeah, they totally, they cemented it.
Like a week later, you went camping. And then that was kind of it for both of you.
Yes.
Because you both liked camping.
Well, she'd never been camping. And
What? Really?
Yeah, never. And so I was at this point in my dating life where I didn't want to waste any time. So in order to see if things were really going to...
So you took her in the middle of the forest and pitched a tent.
It was the desert, actually. And we did get stranded twice.
How?
The first time I left a bunch of my camera equipment charging in the car in the middle of the night. And we were in the middle of the desert and the battery died.
In your car?
In my car. And we had to hike like a mile. We saw like another like big RV like a mile out in the middle of the desert that had a dune buggy. And we just hiked to it. She's like, let's just hike over to it. I was like, really? You're not super upset that we might die in the desert? And
She was definitely into you.
I know that now.
They were,
Obviously.
they were very inseparable. Now, before we get into our Christmas discussions, but you do have, and so Kyle and Martha dated for what, a year? Then Kyle,
She's a famous actress. She's so talented.
She's very talented. She's incredibly talented. She's acting is probably her primary talent, and then baking is her secondary talent.
What's her
You.
best bake?
Oh boy, there's a lemon blueberry cake that she does that. It's so also her butter tarts because she's Canadian. So
That sounds like a dirty thing.
Yeah,
I love my wife's butter tots.
give our audience a little before we get into our Christmas chat, a little play-by-play of the your proposal that no one will ever beat ever.
okay, I'll do a quick Cliff's notes of it.
Like truly, no one's ever gonna beat this ever, guys.
So for Martha's birthday, I gave her a clue that said that I was taking her on a trip. And all I told her was that she was going to need a passport. And so she didn't, she got excited, but she didn't know exactly what we were going to do. And the day before the trip, the day before we were leaving, which was a couple months later in December, I gave her another clue that essentially started to open up this whole Amazing Race style adventure where she had to figure out where we were going next. And then we would either get on a plane or a train or rent a car and go to that location. So
Quick timeout. Preference. Martha's a massive Beatles fan. Continue.
she does love the Beatles. So,
But it's
all right. So we fly to London, but that was all a red herring because that is not the final destination. She gets a clue. We wind up going all over Europe, Switzerland, Austria, getting clues, going to Christmas markets.
Oh my gosh, how cool is this?
She has no idea where we're going, how we're going to get there, what's happening next, and ultimately we wind up the final clue. We're in Salzburg celebrating sort of Sound of Music culture, which is one of her favorite movies. And she gets a clue that we're going to go to Vienna. So we get on a train and we go to Vienna. When we get to Vienna, she gets a clue that we're going to go to her favorite restaurant, and this was actually a joke, but she had to figure out the clue, and it wound up being the Hard Rock Cafe.
Great establishment.
Great establishment.
you go to the Hard Rock Cafe in Vienna?
Yes.
Great.
So we, the cultural mecca of Vienna, one of the most original.
It's one of the 7 wonders of the world, if I remember correctly. Yeah,
that's correct.
It's the pyramids and the Hard Rock Cafe in Vienna.
Yeah. And so we get to the Hard Rock Cafe, and unbeknownst to Martha, I'd had one of my best friends from growing up, his name's Connor, fly to Vienna as well. So he was impersonating an employee at the Hard Rock Cafe. So he walks out of the employee elevators and like brushes past Martha and is like, "Oh, excuse me, Martha," and just runs out the front door. And she's like, "What's going on? Like, that was Connor." And I was like, "No, Connor, why would Connor be here?" And she's like, "No, I swear, like, he's very recognizable. He's incredibly tall." It's like, okay, well, where did he go? She's like, "He went out the front door." So I'm like, well, let's go look for him. We go out the front. don't see him. Bam, he pops up out of nowhere, hands her a clue, and she's totally freaking out at this point.
Does she think that she's going to get engaged?
So throughout the trip, like she didn't know what was going on. So like we would check into like a hotel and they'd be like, well, how long are you staying? And she's like, I actually don't know the answer, you know? And so people started saying things like, I bet he's gonna propose, you know? And like,
You're like, shut up, bro.
and it finally got to the point where I was like, if one more person says this, I'm gonna have to go to the jewelry store and buy you a ring, you know? Like,
Nice deflection.
that's right. As
How
if
did you hide the ring?
in my bag in a ring case that I was like always checking
Like
to
in a
make sure it was
carry-on?
still there. Yes, in
Okay.
the carry-on. And so Connor pops out, gives her a clue. This clue says that she needs to go to the Christmas market in Vienna. And so she's like, okay, well, do we have time? Like, can I like take a shower? Like this whole thing was like a quick rush blur of a trip. Like we had, barely had time to stop. We were always on the move. And I was like, no, I'm so sorry. Like, you can't. And she's like, well, what is so important? I'm like, okay, I'm just going to tell you like, the puzzle that we wanted to buy for your mom, like they have it in stock at this Christmas market. and like I called ahead and they're holding it for us, but the guy's only going to be there for a little bit. And so we get to the Christmas market, hustle across town. And at the Christmas market in the booth is her best friend and her best friend's boyfriend are working the booth at the Christmas market, like literally behind the booth, like hustling the wares of the Christmas market.
Kyle, this is the most incredible thing I've ever
This
heard
is
in my
like a
life.
Christmas movie.
I know. I'm like just listening, like wide-eyed.
And so then she totally freaks out. Like now that like her best friend is there, she's like losing her mind. And they, of course, give her another clue. And then now, like, this whole group of us has to, like, hustle across town to the main cathedral in the middle of Vienna. And we go into the cathedral, and it's, like, super quiet. Like, it's very respectful. And I'm like, well, let's go over to, like, this prayer chapel, and we can... And so we go over to the prayer chapel, and, like, we're standing by the little beam there at the front row. And just to the left... She looks over, and our two friends, Chris and Melinda, who you'll remember from the party, who were like, no red flags, like she's great, are there like praying at the cathedral.
This is the coolest thing ever. You guys, just letting you know that like I seemed at the beginning of the story that I knew exactly how this proposal went down. I only knew the climax.
There's a climax.
And that itself is like the most incredible thing in the entire world, which is why I can't believe that there was this much more to it.
This was the buildup. And so then Chris and Melinda give her a clue, and they give her a music box, and she turns the music box, and it plays Let It Be, and she immediately knows what's happening because Chris is the opening DJ for Paul McCartney. So like Paul McCartney, instead of having an opening band, he has a DJ play like Beatles songs, and Chris does custom remixes. And so Martha's playing this thing. They're in Europe. She knows immediately like, oh my goodness, we're going to go see Paul McCartney, which was in fact the truth.
Had she seen him with the friend before? Like had she met him with the friend since he was own opener?
She saw him at Pappy and Harriet's perform, which is like this small little venue up near Joshua Tree in Pioneer Town. So I think she'd got a chance to meet him there briefly.
That's actually how I met Kyle, was at a Paul McCartney concert at Lollapalooza.
That's right, Lollapalooza.
Oh.
Yes. So it's coming full. It comes full circle like 50 to 100 times. And so. So then, like our group is complete. We go back to the Airbnb. We're drinking some champagne, getting ready to go to the Paul McCartney concert. And this is all under the auspices that it's to celebrate Martha's birthday. So we get to the show. Chris had made a sign. Martha got to hold a sign that's like, you say it's your birthday, it's my birthday too, which is a lyric from Birthday. And I was holding a sign that said, we're going to have a good time. And we went out into the audience, and we got to see the sound check, and now the show has started. And what Martha doesn't know is that I'm going to propose to her during the concert. And so Chris comes up to me and he's like, listen, like, I don't know how the proposal is going to work. Like, it's a live show. Paul's got to do what he's got to do. So, we'll see, like, maybe it'll be on stage. And
so you didn't know at this point that you were going to propose on stage?
I knew it was a possibility.
Did you know that Paul was going to be part of the proposal?
I knew that was also a possibility, but I had to also be prepared that...
What was your plan B?
Plan B was I was just going to drop to one knee in the audience and I propose during the concert.
Which is also great.
Fantastic.
Also great.
Yeah.
So a few songs in, Chris like comes out and he's like, it's a go.
It's on.
Like, and so my sign that Chris had made was actually two signs taped together. So the back sign said, Martha, my dear, I want to hold your hand. And so essentially he's like, right after the encore, Paul's going to play Birthday and you guys are going to go up on stage. And so I'm incredibly nervous, and we go up on stage, and Martha still thinks that this is just for her birthday. We told her, like, we're going up and Paul's going to sign your poster, Happy Birthday, Martha, and you're going to get to keep that forever. So we go up, and I'm holding up my sign that says we're going to have a good time. And Paul's like, hey, Martha, it's your birthday. Okay. And I flip my sign, and Paul's like, oh, I see what's happening here. Are you going to propose? And I was like, well, I guess so.
Yeah, Paul, you just really blew up my spot, bro.
And he's like, get on your knees. And then got on my knees, proposed. She said no.
And then I'm alone on Christmas.
She said yes.
Oh.
What a story.
Yes. So we got proposed in Vienna in front of our 40,000 closest friends.
I'm obsessed with athletic greens.
We both are.
I drink it every morning.
Me too.
One of my favorite friends of show.
Who?
Athletic Green. I know. I really love it now. I almost like it's one of those things, like when you do something that you like doing and it's good for you, kind of get a little like excited about it each time. You're like, I haven't taken my athletic greens yet today.
I feel accomplished after I take it. I'm like, okay, I can mess up the rest of my day.
And it tastes really good. And it's full of nutrients and vitamins. It's full of prebiotics, probiotics.
And whole foods and whole fruits, which is super rare, and they freeze dry. They don't use heat, which takes away some of the nutrients. So, which is why you have to refrigerate the bag after you open it. You don't have to refrigerate the travel packs, but it's because there's real food in there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So I should be refrigerating.
You should be refrigerating it.
Hey, noted. Well, just in case, if you forget a couple times, it still tastes great. Whether you are taking steps towards a healthier lifestyle or you're an athlete pushing for better performances. Honestly, at this point in my life, I don't know which one I am.
You're an athlete.
But Athletic Greens is taking the guesswork out of everyday good health. Why not just try it, honestly? Jump over to athleticgreens.com/VIALL and claim my special offer today. 20 free travel packs valued at $79 with your first purchase. That's athleticgreens.com/VIALL. Noom, once again, wonderful, wonderful way to help guide you down the path of intelligent, educated eating.
And we know it's Christmas. Losing weight is the last thing on your mind or the last thing you want to think about. But New Year's is right around the corner. We know you got your resolutions.
You need a friend to guide you through this indulgence that we're all doing a little bit.
Yep.
Help you get back at track. Listen, have some fun over the holidays. Eat what you want. Let mom stuff your face with pie.
Yep.
But let Noom let you know what you can do to help you kind of get your New Year's kicked off right, and where you can still enjoy life and eat and enjoy. That's the thing. Here's what I like most about it. You can still enjoy eating food.
Oh, 100%.
It helps you find different ways.
You know, they
to do
color
that.
code the food so you can know if it's more calorie dense or less calorie dense. It's really easy to track your food. And like, so it'll be a different color. So you know, okay, I had a really calorie dense thing. I should probably have a less calorie dense thing, like a salad.
Yeah, there's a lot of great foods that you all like. You sometimes just forget they exist.
Yeah.
And sometimes Noom is just there to remind you of all the different things you can do to eat healthy, eat right, and do what's best for your
With
body.
a support system. Noom provides a support system. Download it to your phone, spend about 10 minutes a day on it. Just start being aware of what you're putting in your body.
That's right. And you don't have to change it all in one day.
Nope.
Small steps make big progress. Shavings make a pile. Sign up for your trial today at Noom, noom.com/VIALL. What do you have to lose? Wait. Probably. Visit noom.com/VIALL to start your trial today. That's noom.com/VIALL, the last weight loss program you'll need.
Did you offer to pay for your friends to fly out to like her brother and sister, or did they do it on their own? 'Cause
They did it on their own.
That's a good family
That's
you're in now.
neat.
Because that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
and then
it
you
was-
guys eloped. And then you got married like a week later.
We got married 2 days later.
God, I love that.
Yes.
All that build
But
up.
wait, not really.
Yes.
Yeah, really.
Wait, you really got married 2 days later?
That was not a part of the plan, but we got married 2 days later.
Why was that?
Because we still had more of the trip. We were going to go to London. Martha's best friend and Chris are both ordained. So we were like, well, we have two...
We're ready to go.
Ministers. We've got, our best friends are here. Like, let's just knock this out. Like, the idea of planning a wedding and all this was just too. I didn't have the energy for that. Neither did Martha.
Oh, you put so much planning into the engagement.
I'll just wrap it up into one complete story, and then that's what we did. And then a month later, she got pregnant, and now we have a son.
That's amazing.
You guys.
It would have been great though if you did all this build up for the engagement, had her friends, and went to the church and all these clues, and then you got up on stage with Paul McCartney, and he's like, "What are you up here for?" And you're like, "Martha, baby, I got a promotion."
You also recently got a promotion. Congratulations.
Oh,
thank you.
Killing life, Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that story, Kyle.
My
It's
pleasure.
the best.
I couldn't have done it without you.
It's
I'll never
it's
never
the best
forget
thing-
seeing it on Instagram.
Yeah, I
It's the
know.
best engagement.
Nick texted us and he said, "Look at Kyle's Instagram," and we were just like, "No way!"
Oh, there's the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, he's on stage with Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
Oh, he got engaged on stage with Paul McCartney.
I mean, Martha volunteers at a soup kitchen every week, and she only plays the Beatles.
That's right, and they love it.
So yeah,
She's,
Is Paul her favorite?
Hollywood Food Coalition is her soup kitchen that she participates
yeah.
in.
So if you're in LA, you want to
awesome.
volunteer.
Yeah.
That's right.
Come on by.
Or donate on their website, hofoco.org.
Is your mom here right now for Ellen's giveaways?
They left.
Oh, did they win anything from Ellen?
Yeah, I mean nothing crazy.
Nothing exciting.
Yeah. Away luggage. Yeah.
Really?
Hey,
You're like, I get that for
Away
free.
luggage is very exciting.
Nice.
That's very nice.
Friend of
luggage.
show.
Guaranteed
Yeah.
to fit in the overhead bin.
Yeah.
Which is, you got to be careful with that.
Yeah, unless you're in one of those small jets, like the
They just make you check your carry
like when they're like the American Eagle flights.
Right.
Yeah.
Commuter jet.
It's not fitting in that overhead bin space. I'll tell you that much.
That's why you got to fly private.
Yeah. We're working on it, Kyle. We're working on it. Okay.
Kyle doesn't fly private.
Yeah.
Jared wouldn't want to fly private.
I
though.
I
do love coach.
Why
though.
wouldn't you want to fly private?
I get a lot of flight anxiety. I don't like flying.
Oh.
I've chosen the wrong profession.
You guys,
What is your profession?
Well, not a
Jared?
profession, but just a lifestyle, I should say. I've chosen the wrong lifestyle because every time we go on a plane,
It's actually
I
the
need
whole
to,
day
like-
beforehand too.
Yeah.
Like I have to just like check the day beforehand as a bad mood day.
it's all right. What are you gonna do? I just
So
suck it
it's Christmas.
Merry
Christmas, everybody.
up. Merry Christmas.
Do you guys like Christmas?
Yes. What are you talking about? Jared is
There's
the
a-
Christmas elf.
I don't think there's any Grinches in here.
I think it's fine.
Okay, there is a Grinch.
Scrooge.
What
Oh,
don't
wow.
what don't you like about Christmas?
No, there's nothing I don't like about Christmas. It's totally fine.
Then why is it just fine?
For me, I don't, maybe it's because I don't have anyone to share Christmas with.
At this point, yeah. I can see that.
When I was a
Your
younger,
family.
sure, it's fine.
It's different. I feel
different.
like if you don't have a loved one, when you.
As an adult,
As an adult.
it changes.
I don't think so.
I think so because when I was single in my 20s and people started taking people home for Christmas and stuff, I started like not liking Christmas either. It was just like
It's not that I don't like Christmas. It's just like as a kid,
Yeah.
I would be the kid like a week before Christmas. I'd be so anxious for Christmas. I would just walk in circles, just around the Christmas, just literally pace in circles. And I'd be like, all right, well, 4 minutes has gone by, and it would be like there's still 7 days left till Christmas. It was just, and then.
How is Christmas in a house full of so many siblings?
Yeah.
Right.
I had a great childhood in that sense. Is that with all the kids, we weren't well off by any means. We were very middle class. My parents, always got by, but we did great. And I didn't know, in the sense that my parents always struggled, week to week, making ends meet, so to speak. But my mom would start Christmas shopping in January throughout the year, and deals here. I mean, she's always throughout the year was kind of always looking out. And as a kid, my parents wouldn't just give us random gifts or buy us things we want like that for birthdays and Christmas, but they always gave the best presents. And it was always like on a deal or whatever. But we had great Christmas. I mean, waking up, it was always the best. I had some great Christmases, and it was always like waiting for what my mom and parents would get me. And, and as an adult, you make money, you start buying the things you want, when you want it. You don't wait till Christmas to treat yourself. And so Christmas is every day for me. So
Wow. So it's all about the gifts, is what you're saying.
yeah. Well, I mean, to that point, and as an adult, your girlfriends, you maybe make a romantic, sentimental gift of write a poem or do something nice or whatever. And now it's just kind of like you, especially living in LA. It's like my parents call me, "Are you coming for Christmas?" Like, oh shit, tomorrow's Christmas. Yeah, I guess I'll book a flight. It's warm. I forget.
I get very excited about going home for Christmas.
Yeah, I get to see my family.
Yes. And my mom always, Christmas Eve, makes shrimp Creole, very special, spicy family recipe. And then Christmas morning makes a breakfast casserole. And those to me are the highlights.
Is that the thing your mom was making with the eggs and the
yes.
It's quite. It looks,
That sounds good.
That's my mom makes that too.
It looks great.
It's so good. I want it now that I'm discussing it.
Well, you'll get it soon if you're going home for the holidays.
Could you
that's
imagine? We all don't know how it is to be from LA.
Yeah.
And then just to celebrate Christmas in a warm environment.
Kyle's from Atlanta.
Well, it's different. It gets Christmassy there.
I think I've seen one white Christmas in Atlanta.
And I guess it does get
1996.
noticeably cold.
That
I
sounds
was
right.
stranded
That
there
sounds right.
at my grandparents in 1996, and it was very cozy.
But yes, I mean, us three are very much used to seasons, and that was very much a part of what Christmas would feel like.
Yeah, the spirit of Christmas.
Right.
What's your favorite Christmas you've ever had?
Well, I feel like I have to say last year's.
You do have to say last
Why?
year.
What was so special about last year?
Well, I had somebody in my life that wasn't. Well, you were part of my life, but not in the same way.
You were engaged then?
Yeah.
We were engaged. Yeah. My favorite Christmas, I don't know. I think as you get older, they start all blurring together.
Yeah.
And it's hard to differentiate between Christmases. I just like the idea of going home for the holidays, spending it with your family. And I also like the idea of, I guess, of giving, not just gifts, but your time as well. And I think that kind of symbolizes Christmas.
Okay, you're great.
It's true though. That's not great, but that's why I like Christmas so much, is because it's the time of year where everybody's a little bit happier and everybody's a little bit more excited to get to the day. Because like you were talking about, I love the tangible things at Christmas. I love getting the tree and decorating and getting into the spirit and drinking eggnog and watching Christmas movies. I get all into that
She
shit.
decorates the house. I don't know.
I mean,
touch it.
Jared's a comfort guy, so
Yeah.
Christmas is all about comfort. That's
Yeah.
definitely-
Exactly.
Yeah, it does.
And it's the most comfortable time of the year. And I enjoy that very much.
I get sad that we have a week now just to enjoy our place the way it is because it's so cute and cozy. and it just won't feel like that when we get back.
Do you think, what's your worst Christmas? Because I think as an adult, some people don't look forward to the holiday season.
I know my worst Christmas.
I know my worst Christmas. It's probably the Christmas before I went on The Bachelor.
Why?
I just felt like so single and alone and desperate.
My worst Christmas was 2 years ago, and I'm not saying it to be facetious, but it was when you were dating someone else and we weren't talking.
What's his name? You can say his name.
I forget.
Who
It
cares?
escapes me now. Timmy? No, when you were dating Kevin. And because Winter Games was filmed in early December and you got back like a week before Christmas.
I
And
do
heard-
remember that.
I didn't hear from you. And I was living with you at the time, but I was home. I went home
Like the 15th. I
But
feel
like
I remember
right,
you being home
but
on,
like right before that, it was kind of similar, like for different situations. But when I was with Kyle, living with Kyle, I was like, I don't really know this whole LA thing. And there was one point, I think we were like playing Madden video games, and we were just like stressing each other out. You're just like, I don't know, man. I think I'm just fucking moving home. And you're just like, you're just super fucking grumpy forever. And I was like, what is your deal, man? Like, I told you to give it some time.
I know. No, Nick was a great friend. Nick was the one who originally had me come out to move out to LA because you were just like, just try it. You've lived in Rhode Island your entire life. Because this was at the time where you were living in a 2-bedroom, you had an extra room, and you were like, just come move in with me, see if you like it. And I moved in November, then went on Bachelor Australia.
That's right.
for 10 days. You're just gone 10 days.
I was gone for 10 days and then came back. Then you were in Winter Games, and then
We had 1 day rollover. We went to
we
see
went 1 day
Justice
rollover.
League.
I was living with you, and then I went home for Christmas, and then got home, and that's when I started hearing I heard a rumor that you were left the show engaged.
Jared, that's horrifying.
It was it was very terrifying.
Oh.
Well, because then I knew it was over. You know, if you left the show engaged,
Really? You told me it was over. You told me it was over many times.
Over what?
Yeah,
Like
it's
your
over.
friendship or your
No.
friendship. Oh, there was no way as an engaged woman. Do you think she was going to be as close of a friend to me as she was prior to us being in a
she
relationship?
wanted to be
Those
your wife, but
engagements.
you for some
Yeah.
reason were.
But what I'm saying is what we had before we got together, there was no way that was lasting. I guarantee we already know, like, for good reason, that he didn't want you to be friends with me at the time.
Sure, sorry. I love it when Jared talks about he still gets worked up.
It does, yeah. So anyway,
I like it when he has to remember those times.
yeah, it was
Where
not
I
a good
wasn't
time.
a guarantee for you.
And I think it was just in the crossroads of my life, you know, being in Rhode Island at the time, but at the time living with Nick in LA and not sure what the hell was going to happen with me there, and you possibly being in a relationship with somebody else and not knowing how serious it was. Especially, everybody knows, leaving that Bachelor world, everything's so intense. It's like, is it really the out of the realm possibility that Ashley Iaconetti is in a very serious, loving relationship with someone?
Jared, Winter Games, the whole
Well,
filming
it's-
was like 11
I didn't-
days.
It's possible she's engaged. It wasn't possible she was in a serious loving relationship.
I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
Like, you think, but so anyway, so that was definitely the worst Christmas because I didn't know what the hell was going on or what I was going to do or where my life was headed.
I remember you texted me just simply, Merry Christmas, Ashley.
I was so pissed.
Ooh, Merry Christmas, Ashley.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I said her name. I'll never forget sending this text message because I said her name because I wanted it. Wow, you read it wrong. I wanted it to be sentimental.
No, I know. No, that's how I-
wanted
no,
it
that's
to sound
same.
like not just like Merry Christmas, Ashley.
No, Jared.
What if
I
I
was
interpreted
directing
it as
towards-
that. Nick interpreted it as sass, but
Oh, okay.
I interpreted it as like, oh wow, that was very personal.
What if you sent a picture of you and Kevin and just said, could have been you?
Oh,
He's boiling
I'd
right
be
now.
dead.
He still
dear.
gets mad.
I'm not mad. I'm leaving.
Kyle, before you met your loving, caring wife, you had some heartfelt breakups. In fact, we met because you were trying to make your then ex-girlfriend jealous by getting a
That's
photo.
why I had wanted the selfie.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah. She was a bachelor fan.
I sent her the picture like immediately, and I was like, "Look who's my new best friend." Before I'd even had said anything to Nick.
Oh my gosh. So you were still talking?
Have you had any tough holidays or Christmases as a result of relationships not working out?
No, Nothing that really sticks out.
You were always able to like have perspective.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, and
Well, good for you.
yes, and living. I haven't lived in Atlanta since I was young. I think I was probably 17 when I last lived there. So Christmas always means going back and being with my family, and so that always kind of seems to be the overwhelming feeling.
I also think for me, like even that was like quote unquote the worst Christmas. I still had a great Christmas because during those years, one of the things that I do like about this time of year is you are forced to be reminded of the things that you have in your life that you love and you're grateful for. And so I think even being home with my friends and family, because I kept thinking like, even if Ashley moves on and like we'll never speak again, I have my parents and my sister and my friends and everybody. So I think it's a constant reminder of that.
Well, you're just better people than me because I feel like
You just sit in your self-loathing state.
it felt like in my 20s, every time I broke up with a girlfriend,
It's always in December.
It was like October or
Yeah.
November, and so like I was still feeling when I broke up with a girlfriend, it wasn't. But when I was broken up with, it was like early November, and so like the wounds were still soft, and I was a big baby and self-indulgent during Christmas. And no, I wasn't like, I'm still grateful for my large family and the Christmas cookies, and nothing about that really helped.
There was a study about apparently December is the month where the most breakups occur.
Don't have to get that gift.
And apparently there's December 11th from this study
was like
said
2
that
days
December
ago.
11th is the biggest day of the year for breakups to occur.
All right, we all made it through.
Did it say
Yeah,
why?
we're good.
Did it say why? Like people, is that they're reassessing their lives?
It said that they believe because you are forced, most of the time people go home for the holidays, and if you are in a relationship, you bring your significant other. So a lot of times they'd break up before going home for the holidays and having to go through that and that stressful, weird time where you're like, oh, it's my girlfriend, but I'm not sure if we're going to have a future, but she's coming home for the holidays, or, so they said that a lot of people will try to get out of the situation before having to deal with it.
It's also like, do I picture this person in my family time?
Right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Rochelle, how about you? You love Christmas. Have you ever had a salty Christmas?
Well, I lucked out because I'm from Arizona and my parents moved to Austin. And so now my whole family gets to hang out in Austin, Texas. It's the best city in the entire world. And we have a great time. I just eat barbecue from the second I land until
Breakfast
I leave.
tacos.
Yes, breakfast tacos.
You've never had a Christmas breakup?
Oh, yeah. I've been very sad on, And then, you get the text from them and you're like, what does this mean? Are they thinking about me? Or,
Oh, yeah, that's the worst,
That's the
right?
worst.
Because like you're broken up with, you're a little salty.
Yeah.
They're like, well, I'm just going to be nice. I should just reach out and let them know I'm, just in case you're not over me, I'm still here and I'm probably having a better day than you.
I love that text.
Oh, I
from
sent
you.
that text to plant a fucking
I love
seed.
it.
Yeah.
Of
I
course,
think it
thought
worked.
a lot about the text
yeah.
too.
right? You're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, it sounds like he may love me. And this was before he said that.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, the exes will reach out.
Yeah. Well, they're lonely too. Because like
Maybe
you said,
not. Or they just want you to not get over them yet.
well, that's what I mean by lonely, because even if someone breaks up with you on December 11th and they go home for the holidays and they see their sister married or their cousin married with kids, and then they start thinking, maybe I did break up with them too early. Like, or you start getting those nostalgic feels. So you just send out that text. Hey, Merry Christmas.
Hey, what's up? You
Yeah,
up?
You still love me. It's self-indulgent and quite selfish.
Here's the Christmas present I would have gotten you.
Yeah.
no.
Have you ever broken
I did
up?
that once.
Have you ever broken up with someone and still gave them the gift?
That's
that
what
you,
I did.
Yeah, I've done that. Yeah.
Looking back,
so
why?
pathetic.
So pathetic.
So pathetic.
Do you want to know something pathetic that you guys will appreciate?
Yeah.
Don't get mad.
Oh, it's about the
Uh-oh.
No.
Take your headphones off.
It's about Bachelorette. So
ex. You bought a gift for Caitlin?
no. Well, what happened was
Can we let them tell the story?
we were in the San Antonio airport, and we were going to New York, I think it was, and,
Ireland.
or we were going from. Yeah, you're right. So we were going to Ireland, And so
Well, we were going to New York to go to Ireland, but
yeah. Anyway, we're in San Antonio airport. We're going to a different destination. We're walking around, and obviously you walk around with producers, and because you have to make sure that you don't run away. So there was like this cute shot glass that had a San Antonio thing, and I remember talking to a producer, and I was like, I think I'm going to buy it for Caitlin and just give it to her, and like a little token because we had a nice moment in San Antonio. And so he's like, yeah, cool. So I bought the shot glass, go to Ireland, never had a chance to give it to her. She always breaks up with me.
What do you
Boom.
mean? You could have given it to her in the car.
I forgot. Like
Ashley,
I just,
chill out.
yeah, I just, because you go
Sounds
on
like a very
dates and-
special gift.
Well, it's just, it's a shot glass, right? It's nothing. It's kind of insignificant.
that
It was
I don't
just-
know. I feel like a shot glass is basically love.
Pretty thoughtful.
So anyway, it was a thoughtful
I think
gift,
it is
but
thoughtful and cute.
especially on the show, as you guys know, like you're always rushed. You know, you're like, you got to go now. You don't have any time. You got to go. So then anyway, fast forward to the reunion show, Men Tell All, and a producer comes in and he's like, hey, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, good. He's like, do you sell that shot glass? Or this might have been before I left. And I was like, yeah, I sell the shot glass. And he's like, I think you should give it to her at the Men Tell All. And I was like, I'm not fucking giving that to her anymore. Are you out of your mind? He's like, I just think,
Oh my!
I think it'd be a nice gesture. That's all. That's all I'm saying. It's up to you.
Which
But
basically means I think it'll be cringeworthy. And
I was like, I'm not giving it
Was
to her.
this Todd?
I'm not saying who it was.
definitely Todd.
But I was like, I'm not giving it to her. I can't do that because that's just too creepy. And he's like, okay. And I'll always think back upon that. I was like, man, if
Where
I
is
gave her that
the
shot glass,
shot
I would-
glass?
I think I gave it to someone else.
Oh, you never gave it to her.
No.
I thought this was gonna end like you mailed it to her
No,
for Christmas.
that would have been weird. It's just more like I'll give it to my second cousin. Enjoy the San Antonio shot glass with like a cowboy on the side shooting from his saddle.
Favorite Christmas movie.
Elf, and I guess Home Alone.
A Christmas cruise.
Oh, it's the best.
Look
Oh,
at
Christmas
there it
Cruise
is.
right there.
That
What was your character's name?
Bob, the hotel cruise manager.
Bob. You look like a Bob.
Hands down the best.
I love how I'm the movie poster and like I'm in it for 30 seconds.
You steal the show in those 30 seconds. I've
right.
seen that scene.
I haven't seen the movie.
You didn't see your scene?
Nick
it's
never
great.
watches any
I
of
haven't
his.
seen it either.
You open up one of the doors and
You're stressed out because you're running a cruise?
that's
I
Vanessa
guess.
Williams,
Are you
right?
the cruise director or a
He's
bartender?
Vivica Fox.
The cruise manager.
Vivica Fox, excuse
me.
Hotel cruise director. Yeah, I guess I'm just like the
Yeah, you open the door and Vivica Fox is there. and
holding towels. I'm holding towels.
You're holding towels, yeah. And then you say like you don't want to deal with the situation, and you're like, I forget the other guy's name, but you're like, Bob, somebody wants something.
My
And
name
then
Nick was Bob,
was
actually.
Bob.
so.
Oh, you were Bob.
There were two Bobs.
I remember there was a Bob. How do I turn these lights off?
Did you get to like work? Was it fun working with Vivica Fox?
Yeah, she's very lovely, very nice. Yeah,
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it was very nice. So other than the Christmas cruise,
National Lampoon Christmas Vacation.
So that's
that's my
Jared's
favorite.
That's it.
favorite.
That's
yeah, you
hands
guys can
down.
have your
Again.
moment where you bond over it.
Again, you talk about comfort. There's not another
right.
movie that's more comfortable than National Lampoon's
I
Christmas.
don't
Every
know.
New
the
Year's-
holiday is quite comforting.
Oh, that's a good one.
I will say, as far as like chick flicks go, I do like the holiday.
The holiday
good.
may be one of the most well done chick
The
flicks.
first hour's great, and then the end's fine. Like the middle.
I don't know. I think it's pretty nonstop. I mean, there are some slow moments with Kate Winslet and the old guy, even though it is very endearing and sweet.
It's the Cameron Diaz Jude Law middle.
I soak up every moment of that.
They're meet cute in the beginning when
Yeah.
they first hook up. Love that scene when she comes into the bar after she was gonna leave, and they
Yeah.
play that music, and she sees Jude
Yeah.
at the bar, and he
Yeah.
looks over and he's looking all hot and sexy. Love that stuff.
Yeah,
Did
I
you
love
say
that too.
you think it was the most well done romantic comedy of all time?
One of them. No,
my.
not. Okay, fine. You're
Do you
right.
think it's a top 5
Stop.
romantic comedy?
What about Love
Top
Actually?
5? No, okay. So Jared and I have a yearly argument over Love Actually versus The Holiday.
I'm a
I
big
think
Love
it's
Actually
hands
guy.
down The Holiday. No ifs, ands, or buts. He's all Love Actually. So you guys, let us know.
No love for Die Hard as a Christmas movie.
Die Hard's it's so hard because Die Hard, yes, it is a Christmas movie, but when I think of Christmas movies, I don't think of Die Hard.
Right. Like Jingle All the Way.
Oh, Jingle away.
Yeah, that's more of a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it is.
What's Jingle All the
definitely.
Way?
It's in the title.
Are you
Arnold.
kidding me?
Come on.
Sinbad?
And they
Arnold
need to go
Schwarzenegger?
find the, what's it called?
Turbo Man.
Turbo Man. It's turbo time.
It's turbo time.
You know, now that you're saying, I think I don't think I've seen the whole movie, but I do know.
It's
what
the
you're talking
classic Christmas toy has sold out. You
Yeah,
got to get
okay.
it for your kid.
Classic.
How are you going to do it?
about. Arnold Schwarzenegger and
Yeah.
Sinbad are like,
Fighting for the toy.
yes. And then they realize the meaning of Christmas at the end, maybe, or something like that.
Of course
just,
they do.
just barely. though.
Yeah. You guys, do you think Gremlins is a Halloween movie or a
Yes.
Christmas movie? I think it's a Christmas movie.
It takes place on Christmas
It's a
Eve.
die-hard
Christmas
type
movie.
of Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
It's
say
more
it's a
Christmas, than Die Hard, I'd say.
Yeah. There's a little bit. Yeah, there's
Die
more
Hard's
Christmas.
pretty Christmas. Die Hard's pretty Christmas too.
It's a holiday Christmas party.
Yeah.
The whole movie takes place during a Christmas
That's
party.
why they're all in the Nakatomi Tower.
Yeah.
My parents made us watch It's a Wonderful Life every year.
That's a Christmas movie.
That's a Christmas
time.
movie. And then 2 years ago, they made us go to a one-man show of it. Our
When they
whole
say
family.
made you, like, did you truly hate it or
The one-man show?
No, well, just like you make it sound like, well, we have to go to church, guys.
Well, I mean, after 5 times, I didn't really want to, George Bailey. I'm like, just jump in the lake and be done with it.
You never really quite loved it as much as your parents.
I guess not.
I have to watch it as an adult because my mom had me watch it when I was younger, like a kid, like elementary,
so
middle
good.
school. And now I haven't seen it since middle school, I would say. And now I think I'd have a totally different appreciation for it.
A movie that gets hate that I hate that gets hate is How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey.
Not great.
I
I enjoy
Love
it. Yeah.
It's fine.
But a lot of people feel the way you are, where they think it's overrated, where I feel bad because I think Jim Carrey gives such an incredible performance as the Grinch. And nobody just
Yeah, he
gives
does
it
a
the
good
love
job.
I
it
agree that
deserves.
so Jared had me watch that last year for the first time since it came out in theaters and I saw it as a kid. And I will agree his performance is really incredible. But it doesn't give me like warm and fuzzy Christmas feelings.
Oh.
I know. I'll watch it with you again still this year.
But his heart grows 3 sizes.
Do you know what movie is very underrated? And I know nobody here has seen it. It's Best Man Holiday. There you go. Silence.
Okay.
Who's in it?
With
Yeah.
Tay Diggs.
Tay Diggs is hot.
That sounds good.
Tay Diggs follows me on Twitter. He probably follows everybody.
He
here.
does follow everyone on
But he
Twitter.
follows also, I think, about 70,000 people.
Yeah.
So
That's
we're not that
yeah.
special.
I remember-
Taraji P. Henson.
Okay.
All right, Best Man Holiday. Got to check it out.
You
There it
have
is.
to check it out. This is what all I
I
ask
know.
of you. That's my Christmas gift.
I'll watch it. Who's the lead actress and why do I know her?
Well, they're all equals. There's no lead.
Oh, okay, never
She's
mind.
a-
It's an ensemble cast.
Yeah.
Favorite holiday food, whether it's a dessert or what food do you look most forward to that is seasonal?
Does liquid count?
Eggnog.
Yeah.
Really? You like eggnog?
I fucking love eggnog.
Really?
Have you
Again,
ever
it's my-
done homemade eggnog?
No.
It's you should give it a shot. It's
How do you make? What's in eggnog?
eggs.
Eggs and
Raw
nog.
eggs.
Lots of nog, lots of
It's
eggs.
just
Eggs.
scrambled eggs and like raw scrambled eggs and like
dude,
nutmeg.
It's so thick. When you really probably
You
think
whip
of the
'em.
consistency of it, it's disgusting.
Is it
No,
milk,
yeah, that's why I
eggs, and
don't-
sugar,
That sounds right.
Yeah.
And some that
cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
yeah, there we
Nutmeg.
go. Nutmeg. That's
Nutmeg,
the
yeah.
yep. That was the
God,
missing.
not me.
I've never really had it. I've had a sip of Jared's, but I don't get how you drink a glass of it.
Dude, I love in Christmas Vacation when he has the whole bowl. It's like a fruit punch bowl, but instead it's eggnog and he's got his moose mug.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic.
We bought a special edition National Lampoon Christmas Vacation like 5 or 6 years ago that came with the moose mug. So
Because his antlers are what you hold it by. Genius. Anyway, yeah, I would say I like again the tradition of food. Like I love turkey and mashed potatoes and broccoli casserole.
See, we
and-
never did this. Our tradition on Christmas was just to go out to a fancy restaurant. We did Thanksgiving at home, but we just always went out on Christmas.
Ours-
So Jared's family last year was the first like sit down at home meal I had.
I always thought Christmas cookies were overrated.
Oh, so I like Christmas cookies.
Our Christmas cookies.
I know,
gingerbread, or
I
are you
know.
talking about the standard sugar
Like the sugar
cookies?
ones?
My mom made like is a brilliant cook, baker, whatever, and so she makes all these like just a buffet of all these different Christmas cookies, and they're all like not as good as chocolate chip.
That's true. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I
First
agree.
you came for Thanksgiving food, and now Christmas cookies.
I know. Everybody who's
nothing
listening,
better.
I kind of suck, and
I mean, you've got a point though, because like if they were so good, if Thanksgiving, if any of these things were so good,
Why are we
wouldn't
eating
eat them
them
just once a
yeah,
year?
once a year?
Weird that everybody's obsessed with stuffing, and yet we don't do
Oh,
it all the time.
stuffing.
Like, why can't you go to a restaurant and regularly
Just like get
see
canned
stuffing?
cranberry sauce because it's not that good.
not great.
Stuffing is that great.
No.
Stuffing's awesome.
Great thing like pizza, cheeseburgers, grilled
Chocolate chip
cheese
cook-
sandwiches,
chocolate chip cookie.
chocolate chip cookies. You'll eat these things every
day.
other day of the year.
You'll have to help. You have to try not to eat them. You have to, you have to say,
force
you know what? I'm
yourself.
giving him up for at least 3 days, and then you cheat on day 2.
I
Jones
love
on third chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah, they're the best. I love the food at Christmas and Thanksgiving. Yeah, you're right. Why don't we eat that more?
Because they're not that good.
Stuffing
And the reason
is that good.
I
Everybody
enjoy it
knows
every
stuffing's
time.
that
you
good.
love them because you are such a nostalgic person.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. I have a hard
think
time.
that's-
I have a hard time letting go things, so I can understand that. Like her parents always want to go out to eat on Thanksgiving.
Well, I don't approve of this. They're wacky.
I know.
It's my dad.
And
he
I'm-
doesn't like the work.
I'm obviously not going to say anything, but then I'll tell Ashley to be like, if you can, ask your parents if we can not go out to eat.
We
That'd
have
be
not.
Great.
We have
I
not.
know they've been so great, and we had a sit down dinner. It was amazing.
We have
you-
not gone out to eat
Do you
since
call
2010.
Mr. Iaconetti dad?
No, I call him Jay.
You call him Jay.
Sometimes when I'm joking, if I first see him, Dad.
No, you never say that.
I said that to him once.
Once.
One,
sometimes.
I someday, I don't know when, and your dad is lovely, but it's just human nature. Someday you're gonna want to snap at her dad,
I don't think it's gonna be my
Whoa.
dad. I think it's gonna be my mom.
and I just want to be there to watch because Jared will have to go through just a litany of moments where he would want to push back but won't. He'll be like, "Oh, it's fine, I'm a Jared, And I want to be the day
See,
you're like,
you
"No,
agree. You agree? It's my mom. You're gonna want to snap at.
Probably, but not in a bad way. I love your
No,
parents so
of
much.
course. I mean, because it's human nature. At every
But I've
It's gonna
noticed
happen with every family dynamic. You get frustrated.
totally because I've noticed as I've gotten older, and I'm curious if you noticed this too. I do push back more than I used to, and I find myself more willing to say my opinion now, even in times when like your mom and I are sitting down and we might disagree. I like kind of say like, oh yeah, I don't know.
But
I
you're
don't
the
know.
best at arguing because you truly are. You never come at it like defensively. You really do come out of it like this is. How about this point of view? Like, have you ever entertained that idea?
I think I do a good job of removing myself from the situation and looking at it from the outside and understanding different viewpoints and be like, well, I disagree and think that's not right. I can understand why you believe that, so I'm not going to really like firmly stand in my position and be like, no, I'm right, you're wrong. I'm smart, you're dumb. Like the Matilda? No, Matilda? Anybody?
Yeah.
When Danny DeVito starts berating her, you guys remember this?
That's not a Christmas
I'm big,
movie.
you're small. I'm smart, you're dumb.
Does Danny DeVito call himself big?
I think so. But I think that's kind of the joke in
No,
it
I
too,
get it.
because
Yeah,
he's
that's-
over Matilda. Anyway, so yeah.
Any final thoughts about Christmas to our audience that we want to share before we all go drink eggnog?
What are your thoughts about New Year's?
That's
Totally.
another
He's
episode.
like, that's another
isn't it?
episode.
That is another episode.
So,
We can-
sorry, we're not thinking about that.
We will be here on New Year's Day. We do Wells Adams is our guest.
Yeah.
I do think New Year's Eve, we talk about it a little bit with Wells, is obviously a very expensive, overrated night.
Yeah, I don't like going out. on
You
New Year's.
overpay for less fun.
Oh, totally. And it's always just crazy and chaotic. And then most of the time, especially you live in a town, you have to find a way to drive home, which is really dumb because every
it's cold.
It's cold. But I like staying in on New Year's. I'm a big New Year's Rockin' Eve guy.
Jared
There we go.
loves New Year's.
Oh, you like watching it?
He like
I love
watches
watching
it.
it.
Yeah, I know. He likes.
2 years or 3 years ago, when that whole Mariah Carey thing went down, I was in front of my TV watching that thing live, having the time of my life.
That was great.
Oh, it's great. But anyway, last minute Christmas thoughts? I don't know.
Well, I want to know.
I think I would like to reiterate the fact that it can be a very depressing and this like melancholy time.
Yeah, right?
You really have to be at the best place in your life to fully enjoy it.
People listening to this episode are probably like, oh, I just want to do something else other than fucking deal with Christmas. So yeah, let's just remind people that it's okay if you are hating on
It is
Christmas.
okay.
Sure, of course you can hate Christmas.
But it's
Not
also,
every-
it's
not
also
everyone's
okay to
Jared.
enjoy it.
It's okay to enjoy it too.
I got baby's first Christmas coming up, so
Yeah.
I'm already enjoying it.
Kyle's on a high. He's-
So you guys are going to Atlanta?
We're going to Atlanta. We're going to celebrate Christmas with my family in Atlanta. Then for New Year's, we're going to Prince Edward Island to celebrate New Year's with Martha's family, and her sister's getting married on New Year's Day.
Many great oysters up in Prince Edward Island.
Oh yeah, oysters, mussels, lobsters. The seafood scene there is lit. I'm gonna get full.
Are you nervous about flying with your baby?
No, he's so chill. It's not at all really. He's,
Famous last words.
Well, yeah, maybe. Is there wood? There we go. Knocked on it.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you all. Kyle, thanks for sharing the greatest engagement story of all time.
Thank you. I'm
Yes.
available to help plan proposals if anyone needs a little help.
We were saying after you did it, you probably should just start like an engagement proposal company
Yeah.
of like giving ideas and planning, because it was truly epic.
So if anybody wants to get engaged on stage with Paul McCartney, just DM Kyle.
Maybe
Let
not
him know.
specifically Paul, but if you're looking for a very detailed, thoughtful
That's right.
engagement, Kyle's probably your guy to ask.
I can at
Seriously.
least help guide you.
You can follow him at LA Confident on Instagram.
I was more impressed with the friends and family being there than I was you getting engaged with Paul McCartney. Because that's kind of half luck, right? Where you're like, I just hope it happens. But getting their friends and family to be there, her specifically, to be there when they're supposed to be,
country.
giving the clues in a different country, that takes so much effort and precise work. That's really impressive.
Thank you.
You should be proud.
I actually am.
I know you are.
I don't want to gloat, but I'll gloat just a little. And there it is.
All right. Well, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks for listening.
And happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah,
Happy Hanukkah
happy
as well.
Kwanzaa, happy holidays,
Happy everything.
whatever it is you are celebrating.
That's right.
We wish you a happy, wonderful day. We will see you on New Year's Day with Wells Adams.